What's up? Welcome back to the Fire and Rice podcast. I'm Jenna. That's Jack. Let's get into it.
What episode are we on?
Hannah Brown. Episode 3.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. But what episode are we on? We're on episode 10, aren't we?
Are we?
I think we're on episode 10. Wow.
Whoa.
I feel accomplished. We're on episode 10.
That's really good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the comments and support too recently. Feels like we're getting a lot more engagement in our videos, and I'm trying to do my best, or we're both trying to do our best to read all the comments, reply to as many as we can, and yeah,
So
it's been
we've
really
been doing
cool.
this for 10 weeks.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Really fun. Okay, so before we get into Bachelorette, some logistics or administrative things. First off, I wanted to mention the whole thing about people commenting, which has been great to read. And two, in those comments, we've noticed a lot of interest in the listening session that we went to, because we didn't cover it too in depth. And it definitely sounds like people want to hear more about it. So that being said, you guys are heard, and we will do our best to get a side video or something out talking a little bit more about it.
Yes.
Sound good?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, well now let's get back into Bachelorette. This is week 3 that we just finished watching. Oh, an interesting episode.
They've all been interesting episodes.
This is going to be an interesting season for sure. A lot went down. A lot of interesting character development for sure. I'm treating this like it's an
actual
TV show.
Yeah, but it's people's
lives. But
lives.
it's real people, and these characters are very interesting.
Yeah.
So, pretty much coming into this episode, the prime target, the public enemy number 1, was Cam.
Cam Ayala.
ABC Cam.
ABC. Always be Cam.
So Cam was the public enemy coming into this episode, definitely due to his constant interruptions from the previous episode.
Yes.
The chicken nugget incident, which made its way into this episode. I'm craving
chicken nuggets.
I just ate. I'm good.
Okay.
But yes, there was actually a lot of chicken nugget, not scenery, but you know what I mean, like
yeah.
Lots of shots of chicken nuggets in this most recent episode.
I found out why.
Okay, tell me why.
So,
is there a sponsor thing going on in the show? Okay.
No. Okay. So basically what happened was Hannah and Cam were having a conversation, I guess, night 1, and he was saying, yeah, I'm an onion. I have a lot of layers to me. And then, he said, even though I don't like onions. And she said, oh, so you were probably one of those kids who only ate chicken nuggets growing up. And he said, yeah. And then she said, oh, cool. And then they just started talking about chicken nuggets. And then she mentioned that her favorite condiment was honey mustard. And so that's where the whole chicken nugget honey mustard thing came from.
Oh, interesting. Well, there was definitely a lot of chicken nuggets in this episode. Really just... Definitely for the comedic value, but they're just really awkwardly timed chicken nugget shots for sure. So, so let's go through kind of the full episode recap. Something I noticed was kind of going through on YouTube trying to find clips that we can use. It's been a little bit difficult, so it's going to be an interesting format to see how we'll run this show compared to the American Idol show, which is very basic, very easy to kind of showcase.
Yeah, I guess on our ends it's just going to be a lot of explaining.
Yeah, which is fine.
So recapping the episode.
Yeah,
as a
true recap with our
visuals.
Thoughts, pretty much.
Unless one day we'll be able to animate it, and we can just draw out the whole episode.
Good luck with that. Well, this episode, it kind of started off with a group date. This one was a very interesting group date, with kind of talking a little bit about
with the American Pie guy.
But just it was a very interesting, just like all around childbirth, pregnancy. It was it was like
yeah.
a different,
They had,
definitely
like,
an unexpected
a pregnancy simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's an interesting group date.
a very interesting
Choice for a group date.
And I have a clip from the group date. So yeah, basically, like Jenna said, you know, there was a little bit of a trivia section to it. They had to walk around with a weighted vest to simulate what it's like to be pregnant.
Right.
They were like,
They had to be given fake
baby
babies.
dolls to see how they hold the
Yeah.
baby.
And it just came out that a lot of the guys just did not know what they were doing.
No idea what they were doing. But the last part to the group date was really more comedic again. It was this like pain simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our favorite mysterious
JPJ.
getting just that sound effect that they use. Well, so he's an actor, right?
Yes, he is.
So
he's very theatrical.
However, I mean, I could believe that that was painful for sure.
Yeah.
I have nothing really to say about that besides it was just funny at this point.
Yeah.
But the night moves on. Cocktail party with this group. Definitely some interesting characters within this group. So, you know, just some notable people. Cam was in the group. Mike was in the group. Jonathan in the group.
Jed.
Yes, Jed was there. And then what's the
John Paul Jones.
Well, obviously John Paul Jones, but what's the construction dancer guy name? Tyler was there too. So going into this cocktail party, Mike pulls Hannah aside and kind of opens up a little bit about his backstory and how this group date was kind of gave him a little bit of flashbacks into his previous life.
Yes,
I guess you could call it.
This group date brought up previous memories and
yeah. I was hoping you were gonna finish it for me. No, I mean he opens up a lot, talks about him in his previous relationship, them getting pregnant, but unfortunately losing the child, and it was a really hard time for him. He has a little bit of like, I don't want to, maybe like survivor's guilt would be a word to use. Well, like he just feels a little bit like guilty that he wasn't really there to help and support in that time of need. So so he's getting very emotional, showing his vulnerable side for being such a big guy. You know, he's a pretty good-looking, stocky dude.
They call him Big Mike.
Big Mike. He's got the nice eyebrows. But interestingly, we have a huge, dramatic, what do you call it? Interruption, really.
Interruption, yeah.
By none other than
Chicken Nugget.
A chicken nugget.
One of the things that you asked for was vulnerability.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
This is insight to who I am.
Okay.
So I met my ex, and we had got pregnant. And when we got pregnant, you gotta understand, I had the engagement set. I was just really ready to start a family. But we lost our child, and so.
When did you?
We lost our child in the second trimester. And today, it reminded me of that. It was my fault because I wasn't there for her at the time. Thank you.
So, I mean, you can see how difficult it is for Mike to be opening up this way. And it's something that's really hard to really like discuss for sure, especially this early on. But I mean, their time is so short together that you have to
kind of just have to get things
going,
out of the
like,
way.
right
That way you
can
just focus on the time that you
yeah,
have.
Exactly. Well, like we were saying, like we were alluding to, of course.
That kept me strong, right?
As you guys just saw, Cam's walking through the door at this point. He's
Cam,
literally
Don't worry
just
about nobody else's success.
literally just standing there.
Hey, just whenever you guys are wrapped up, I'll just be outside. Have a minute. Thanks.
And never.
Okay, so right off the bat, Cam just interrupts, says it in this weird, like, matter-of-fact way,
yeah.
you know?
He said it in a way that he was almost hurt, as if he walked in on Hannah and Mike, like, talking, and he didn't know that
It was happening.
like, Hannah and Mike, it's almost as if he thought that he was the only one dating Hannah, and then he walked in, he was like, I'll just give you 2 minutes.
The thing for me was, like, the way I read into it or analyzed the situation was that Cam walks in and it definitely looks, I can't tell by the set or like the where they are, but it looks like Cam is like close enough to at least hear the conversation and to know that there's emotion in Mike's voice, so he doesn't know what to do. Like, he's kind of like in this state of, do I say anything? But I'm Cam, I have to always be Cam, I'm gonna interrupt.
Right.
And so he's just like, wrap up, be outside, you know, like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe it's more so that he just didn't know. Yeah, I think he knew it was an emotional conversation.
Definitely
of sorts.
was, yeah.
But I also heard that he had no idea what they were talking about, and if he said that had he known, he would have never done it.
Well, that's always like, hindsight is 2020, and you can always say that after the fact. Was that in a post interview recent? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, you can always look back, but in the moment, I mean, if you see, I don't know, just again, it's really hard to tell from the
energies.
You can read energy, but just based on the perspective of the shot, it looks like Cam's literally
right there,
standing like if between you and me, basically, like this distance apart. There,
or like
you're
Michelle.
on the couch, or and literally he's just standing there listening, just like, whenever you have a moment, please drive up. I know you guys are like, hello. But anyways, so Cam interrupts once, but that's not it.
That's not it.
Cam interrupts again.
A second time.
Comes in again.
I'll come get you in a second. Can you walk outside the door?
Something really important. Just whenever can you wrap it up? A couple minutes here, please. Thanks, man.
Okay. My apologies.
It's okay.
Quite honestly, you give
So yeah, he does it again. This time, of course, he looks like he's still more closer to the door. But that's
like,
not all.
That's not all.
But that's not all.
Of course. Once, twice.
Once, twice.
Please, I haven't had any time. Please.
You're gonna get your time.
Please, dude.
You're gonna get your time.
Just
I'll walk outside.
Please.
And I'll come get you.
I promise.
Hannah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But just give me a hug.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Is it 4 times? I actually just thought about this. Is it technically 4 times? This is technically.
Oh, I didn't count that. I didn't know it was. I thought it was only 3 times. It's 4 times.
It's 4 times. He walks back in. I didn't count this one as a re-interrupt. I thought he stayed.
Yeah.
And then this happens.
No.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oof.
So yeah, lots of drama ensues right off the bat of this episode. So I have it wrong in my notes. Cam walks in 4 times.
4 times.
And as you guys saw and heard, you know, Mike's just like, hey man, just
Like I'll go get you. Okay?
I'll get
It's-
just chill out. And you can see on Hannah's face too that she's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's chill out here.
Yeah.
Let's settle down.
But Cam says, seriously, dude, please. Like, please.
Yeah.
Please.
And
Please.
it's just like he says something along the lines of, I haven't had any time yet. It's like, dude,
Yeah. Like,
the
first of all,
whole
you were on after the final rose, and then you got the
the
first kiss of the season.
kiss, rose,
and
all
then
that.
you interrupted a group date that you weren't invited to, and then this. I don't know. He just wasn't. Honestly, no one is prepared for, you know, the Bachelorette format itself, but I don't know. There's just a lot of common sense cues that are being missed.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that the guys even mentioned in this group date was kind of like, I don't know how exactly they put it, but essentially the message was kind of just like, hey, although we're all here for the same reason, we're all here, and it's, you know,
Tyler.
it's like, yeah, he goes like, he says something about like you got to play the game right sometimes, and
he
it's like
said-
basically it's an etiquette thing.
Yeah, he said
it's all about
if it
etiquette.
was a free for all, we wouldn't get anywhere. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen a first graders play soccer? Yeah, they're all chasing the ball. Yeah, there's sometimes where you gotta play the game right.
Yeah.
And then.
Basically, yeah, like I said, basically he's just trying to not passive aggressive, but just like hint at the idea of just like, guys, there's still etiquette and common sense that has to
Respect.
Yeah, respect. You have to respect. So Cam interrupts 4 times. Mike's upset, and then
Yeah, because Cam kept saying, I have something important to say. And then Mike was like, as if I didn't have anything important to say
which
myself.
was true. But while Cam, so now here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
The Cam goes in, has his conversation, and Jonathan decides that it's time to give Cam a little taste of his own medicine.
Exactly.
And so Jonathan goes in and just completely interrupts Cam in the most awkward, just unnecessary way, forces himself
So
to
bad.
basically
It's
sit
so
down
awkward.
and force Cam out of the seat.
Yeah.
And it's just a really awkward exchange, and it ends up in a hilarious stare down, which is not, at least anywhere I could find to showcase, because it was hilarious. But basically Cam sits down next to Jonathan again and is staring at him. And it's like
it's comedic. That's
what's so funny about the scene. Yeah.
That's why it's like a TV show, or like
it
a
is.
multi-cam comedy. Yeah.
TV show, exactly. So anyways, at the end of all this, Mike ends up getting the rose. Obviously sharing that very vulnerable story is pretty unless there's some sort of like dramatic need to give the rose to someone else. I mean, it makes sense in my head that he gets it.
Yeah, because he was vulnerable.
Yep.
And was able to show himself in, as Hannah put it, his own bold way.
Yep.
And Cam revealed his important thing that he had to talk about was that he quit his job to be here.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and then he was also going to extend further into the story that he had to tell later, but he was interrupted by Jonathan.
Oh. We'll keep that name in mind, folks. We'll mention Jonathan again a little bit later.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that was the end of this first portion of the episode, the first group date. And up comes the one-on-one.
The one-on-one.
So the one-on-one was very interesting because...
Oh, it is also revealed that Tyler G.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really want to get into that.
Okay, well, Tyler G, he got the first one-on-one of the season. He ended up getting sent home for unknown reasons.
You can find it online yourselves.
You can find it online if you want to, but yeah, it's pretty serious when they don't even give him a send-off or a formal goodbye.
Yeah.
They just kind of say he's gone.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of just like, look it up yourselves.
Yeah.
It's all like hearsay on the internet, and you can probably believe it if you read it, but since it's just initial speculation, I'm not too keen to cover it anyways, But yeah, so good point though. There is somebody that is out, so
yes,
one less. That means
person.
One less person.
Yeah.
But Connor gets a one-on-one.
Connor.
And interestingly, this is a very what's the word?
Unconventional.
Yeah, unconventional. I was gonna say like unorthodox. Yeah, whatever.
Unconventional one-on-one.
Unconventional one-on-one.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be them parasailing, or sailboating, or something of the sorts on the water. But Hannah fell ill. Nothing contagious. I'm sure it was just a lot of stress or something. She ended up passing out that morning. They took her to the emergency room. They just pumped her with a lot of fluids. Came back, she had to rest, but she didn't want to cancel her date with Connor. But she also didn't want to have a formal date, so they just sent him over to where she was staying, and They just had like a little cozy
Sick
one-on-one
day
sick day in. Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, he pretty much did a great job, kind of just being very comforting, which was really nice.
I appreciated that he took off his shoes before he got in bed.
That is one small detail that is an absolute must.
It's a must.
Let us know in the
If
comments
you're a
below
person who wears
if you wear shoes in bed.
You're a serial killer.
No, that's not what are you talking about? I was just gonna say, I just want to tally up how many people actually wear their shoes in bed.
Okay, I take it back.
What? And we just lost all respect for our listeners. How could you?
Sorry.
I
just don't agree with it.
Whatever. Anyways, Connor, he ends up, yeah, like I said, he brings her soup and flowers, and he's very comforting throughout the afternoon. And Hannah kind of, wants to get a little more rest, and
yeah, she ends up not giving him a rose. Not saying like, I'm sending you home, but just I don't think it's fair considering the circumstance.
Yeah. And so basically he leaves, but on his way out, he does a really nice thing of just writing down some sticky notes and sending her on a little scavenger hunt
around her little Airbnb hotel thing.
Just with like some really nice compliments and things like that. It's pretty cute. But eventually she does call him back for a nighttime date, probably when she felt a little bit better. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. And they share a really nice oh, you're just showing.
Who's that?
Yeah, they share a nice night out, and of course they share a dance with. Now, for me, this is the first time that the person that's like invited to do like the music,
yeah,
while they're dancing, kind of thing, is someone I recognize. Now, obviously, in part because of the American Idol thing that we've been doing.
Yes,
I know who Lucas Graham is, but like.
But now I know the song.
Now I know more, yeah, and this
that he
song
performs,
and it's pretty cool to see him. So it's like one of those. I don't know. Maybe Lucas is doing stuff with ABC right now.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a good thing for him. But anyways, yeah, he performs the same song that he did
with Demetrius.
With Demetrius on American Idol.
I don't know, man. It doesn't sound right without Demetrius.
It doesn't. But it's still really cool to see Lucas Graham back on TV. Like he never left.
I know.
Anyways, so
like we're watching the same show.
Yeah, exactly. And then yeah, basically Connor ends up getting the rose. So
and it's a sweet moment to watch them dancing together.
Yeah, for sure. But yes,
I felt their connection.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems like a nice guy, but I just don't know too much about him, really.
I mean, we don't know much about anyone, really.
True. I'm just trying to see if there's, like, more to him.
Okay.
Like,
We know he's from Dallas.
Do we?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Everyone thinks he's from California because of his, like, overall demeanor.
Is he the investment analyst that jumped the fence?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I took notes.
Yeah, for his
I took notes.
Limo entrance, his introduction, he jumped the fence and said, "I'll jump any fences for you, Hannah," or something like that. But yeah.
Oh, wait. And he was on After the Final Rose? Yeah, that's my note that I have. So apparently he was on After the Final Rose. Interesting. So he was already okay. So he has some. Yeah.
I'm like trying to remember what he did.
Now that I think about it, I did see like a Twitter meme of like compilation of him, and people were like kind of slowly rooting for him more and more. And then there was a Final Rose pick. Anyways.
Okay.
Connor gets the Final Rose. I mean, not the final rose. I meant the rose of the night. Sorry, the date rose.
Yeah.
Well, leaked. I just leaked the ending, guys. I know the whole thing.
No, he ends up getting the rose from this date. He's not sent home, guys.
From the date.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that kind of wraps up the one-on-one for the night.
Woo!
And then moving into the next date.
Sorry,
It's so hard to use our chopstick claps for now for this
Well, if
recap.
someone does something smooth or if they get a rose.
True. True.
I'm rooting for Connor.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he definitely...
I don't think he'll be the one in the end.
I don't think so either.
But I'm rooting for him.
He showed up tonight. He
showed up.
Yeah. So that ends the one-on-one. But then there's another group date. This group date, the members or the people that make up this group date, people like Luke, Peter, Garrett. Is it Grant? Is it Grant? Which one's the one from? Who's gonna?
Are you talking about San Clemente?
Yeah.
I think it's Grant.
Grant.
It's Grant.
Sorry, Grant. Who's the dude? Who's the political poli-sci guy? The political analyst guy or whatever. The guy that's like this all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that is Grant.
No. I don't know their names. We're gonna get to know their names as the show goes on, but I struggle with the names right now. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, is Garrett the dude with the nice hair kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah.
tall hair.
The tall hair.
Yes.
Deep voice.
There's someone though who's a sperm donor and he has 114 kids.
Where did you get this information?
It's on the Bachelorette website.
Oh.
On ABC. It's on the official website. When it goes meet the cast,
Yeah.
I think they're withholding that information until later down the
That
season.
just seems like not important information though.
No,
So,
but
like,
I'm sure
they're gonna like twist it into a dramatic thing.
I mean, not twist it into a dramatic thing, but they're probably going to reveal it at some point, and we're gonna see Hannah's reaction. Maybe.
It's not a big deal in my opinion.
Yeah, but 114 kids?
Not technically.
Yes, technically.
Not technically, like not officially. Like kind of. Only like kind of.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to have any obligation to meet up with them, but it's still his kids. He
Okay, let me rephrase.
Children.
It's literally his kids, but it's not
Yes.
technically his kids.
No, but he has 114 kids.
It doesn't matter in my opinion.
That's
And he's not the true
bizarre.
parent. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Have you ever heard of someone with 114
I'm sure there's people
kids?
out there that do that kind of thing and that are donors and
They have like
that's
600 kids.
I don't know. Whatever.
That's a lot of kids.
Anyways, group date. Bunch of people in this group date, and we thought that last group date was definitely dramatic and awkward, but to me this one got dramatic and awkward as well.
Yeah.
So this group date was kind of a photo shoot with a bunch of cute animals,
Yeah.
pigs, dogs.
To advertise the new Secret Life of Pets movie.
There you go, which
Numero dos.
I'm excited for.
Yes. Can't wait to watch that.
But anyway, so yeah, basically they had to kind of like get to know their animal and get ready for some photos. Here's just a clip of Garrett with a dog, little scrappy dog, cute dog. Makes me upset that Luke got the French bulldog.
Yeah, because you love French bulldogs.
Love French
You're going
bulldogs.
to get a French
I
bulldog.
want a French bulldog, and I'm sad that Luke got French bulldog. Ugh. Look at
Why is
Luke
Luke
awkwardly
just
in the back.
there?
I don't like that.
Step
He
number
really
one to
should not
dramatic
be
group
there.
date.
Bring it. Come on. Bring it.
1, 2, 3.
Why is
She's
so
super
happy.
excited. But here's the thing, though. It's like he's being a good sport, being real joking
Yeah.
about it. I know that hurts a lot for sure,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's being a good sport about the
Yeah.
whole thing. So that's really good to see. I mean, those are the types of things, the small things that you want to see. And anyways, so the group date is going along. We have Demi returning for another spy mission
Yes.
to find and rat out more Scots,
Yes.
basically.
He wanted to go see if any of the dudes were
What was that?
Scott's.
Scott's.
Scott's, exactly. If you don't remember Scott, good.
Yeah,
You don't need to. It's fine. He's
Yeah.
the dude from the first episode who, ooh,
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
interesting fellow.
interesting fellow.
So yeah, Demi sets up all these like hidden cameras and mics up all of the makeup ladies that are getting them prepared for photos, and they're all hired actresses too, and they try to like hit on the contestants to see if they'll break, but all of them pass, which is good to
All
hear.
of them passed.
Or at least the ones that were on air. Which
No. Demi said later that no one was.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, the photo shoot happens. They're all taking pictures with their animals and being silly and goofy, which is always good to see. Kind of the lighthearted fun of the people shows a lot. And then the photographer is like, okay, now it's couple photos and whatnot. And Peter
Pilot.
Peter's making moves.
Smooth landing.
Smooth landing. Smooth takeoff, smooth landing. Peter's making progress. He's, doing the thing, and Luke doesn't like it.
Luke doesn't.
Luke
No.
does not
Luke P.
like it.
Luke Parker.
And this is kind of the starts, at least,
Of
towards his
implosion.
his spiral down, his downward spiral
Yeah.
into crazy man.
Crazy man.
Crazy
Luke.
man. Basically, he just gets very jealous, and it starts to show, and he kind of interrupts the photography session to get one extra athletic photo because he's a very buff, a very
see
athletic
him,
individual.
Make the calculated. He's like upset and everything. He's like, Hannah, come here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do push-ups and you're gonna stand on my back. Got it? And she's like, what? And he said, just you do you, but stand on my back, okay?
Yeah.
And she was just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And then afterwards, she had to go change into another outfit, and he followed her.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, I can just walk you to
can
your
just-
dressing room. It's fine. And then she's like, no, just chill.
And he's like, no, but like, don't you want to talk to me?
And he's like, chill. So
Yeah. Oof.
step
Ooh,
one
awkward.
into the implosion, like you said,
Yep.
of Luke.
P.
So after the fun animal group date, there's a cocktail party, and this is definitely another instance of Luke just really struggling in this environment, and you can definitely feel it. And
Yeah.
at a certain point, they get their opportunity to chat.
Yeah, Hannah pulls Luke P first. She goes, Luke
Yeah.
P, can I talk to you?
Yeah, so she pulls him first.
People
to
are
kind
probably
of,
assuming like, oh, gosh dang it, Luke.
oh, Luke again.
Ah.
Because I mean, from the outside, it definitely seems like if you're not paying too much attention, that Hannah and
He's a
Luke
front
were
runner,
they were
basically.
going strong. So
Yeah.
Like tries to flaunt our connection in front of the guys. There have just been some like little red flags about how he carries himself that bothers me a little bit. It's like this fine line of like, I really think it's attractive to like, it's the most unattractive thing I've ever seen in my life.
You have been amazing today, seriously. I mean, I look at you and you are beyond special to me. And you do
Not
fit like the perfect mold of what I've been wanting my whole life in a future wife. And here I am letting other guys develop a stronger connection, a stronger relationship with you. And I get to see you put everything you have in each and every individual relationship. I don't know, I really don't think these guys just have what it takes to be
Jeez.
your future husband.
she's not phased really. And
Eek.
let me
Long
just
story
pause it real
short,
quick.
she tells him, look,
Well, I'll let it play in a second,
Okay,
but I
okay.
just want to say, like, you can just tell by, well, not this face, but
not that face, not
but
that face
this
necessarily.
more so
Yeah,
this face.
yeah.
I mean, just the body language. The problem for me with this whole thing is, like, we said it on the last podcast, was just that it feels like he maybe is feeling strong things, but not maybe aware of necessarily what he's feeling. And his way of
Yeah.
communicating is really lackluster. I mean, he's saying these just cliche generic statements without
like
backing it up. Like if you say that, you kind of have to be like, because
not just words.
Yeah, you're like
Words.
he's literally just being like, yo, you know, you're the perfect, you know,
Mold,
you fit the
what I've
perfect
always
thing of what I
wanted in a
wanted,
wife.
and you're so amazing, and today was so special, blah blah blah. But like, not why. It's just
It's a special-
generic statements. So it's really hard to get behind him and kind of feel what he's feeling
when he's
without-
not
Yeah.
explaining how or why he's feeling the things that he is.
Right. So, anyways,
Yeah.
Hannah kind of finally has her response
Because,
a little bit.
When he said he was starting to fall in love, she questioned him and said, well, how do you know? And he said, well, when I was watching you on Colton season, like I already was starting to fall in love with you as a person and everything, and just meeting you just confirmed and validated all of that. But it's different, you know?
Right. I mean, you're watching someone on TV, but until you actually meet them, hang out with them, and actually be around them, it's completely. Because the way he basically is explaining it is super one-sided. You know, like,
Well, he's explaining it like, I'm a fan of you.
I'm a fan. That's a good way to put it. Basically, it's literally, I'm just
And I have
fan.
a weird infatuation with you, and I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
Or it's starting to.
Yeah. So, well, let's kind of hear what she has to say a little bit.
With it, because I just feel like you already think it's like promised to you, and that bothers me a lot. And like I feel like your confidence in this kind of makes me irritated in a way.
Well, can I just cut you off for a second? Honestly, I'm happy we're having this conversation.
Yeah, hold on, let me talk.
All right, sorry.
I don't like I want you to like focus on me, and you do that, but you also don't respect that I do have other relationships here, like for me,
Right.
and that bothers me.
And that bothers her. And
That
I mean,
bothers her.
so this is another one of those situations too, though, where you know, we kind of get to see, which is something that I really like, is that she won't take nothing from these guys. Like,
Yeah.
if she feels that she's being interrupted, she takes it back, and like, it's a super, really strong and awesome thing to see, because when, especially as soon as she starts kind of like criticizing Luke or whatever it is, like scolding him a little bit, you can see the change in his demeanor goes from like really excited to like, oh, and then that's when it spirals out, and that's when you can kind of tell a person's character, is when they start kind of trying to flip it or try to deny it right away, or like just like spin the story back.
Yeah.
That defense mechanism looks super bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's why it's like really good of her to just like, yo, just let me talk. Like,
Yeah, because after this conversation, he goes for his interview and he's like, I'm just gonna pretend like that conversation didn't happen.
yeah, what? That's a huge no.
Like, she just asked you to change something. You're gonna pretend like she didn't say that.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm super glad you said that, because, and then it's just like, didn't actually hear you.
Nah.
In one ear, out the
And then
other.
he goes back to the other guys and he explains basically, yeah, she's irritated with me. And they're like, oh no, dude, I'm so sorry. And yeah, it's just you really just see the downward spiral there.
Yeah, pretty interesting for sure. But so that first conversation happens, and then basically the rest of the cocktail party happens, and throughout this whole thing, Luke is freaking out, wants to get more time and discuss. He walks in. I don't think I have a
That's what I was gonna say. I totally blanked. But yeah, when he was talking to the other guys about the situation, he said, yeah, you know, I was even considering going home tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
just a
He already
complete
gave up, like completely flopped
180.
from this
like, I'm
is the
starting to fall in
perfect
love.
person to
You're,
I'm gonna
you're the
go.
perfect person for me. Oh my god! And then he goes outside 2 minutes later and says, "Yeah, I was thinking about going home tonight. You know, if I'm not completely in love with her."
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was very
Ooh.
bad.
Yikes.
Very, again, one of those just interesting character
See,
developments
Yeah.
that just doesn't seem to add up, which
His
is
maturity really shows in his reaction.
Yeah, exactly. But on the bright side of the night, you had somebody like Peter. Peter was just so casual, so chill, so smooth, and yeah, I mean, he just looked so happy throughout the night, and it's just something you can tell in the way he's smiling.
Yeah.
That it's like a super, like, he can't help but smile.
Yeah.
And it's really nice and feels very authentic. But we'll see, because this show always throws us curveballs with some of our favorites. But I really do think Peter's looking to be a good front runner here.
I see him as like the Hannah G.
Where there's like nothing necessarily wrong.
Like, it's all nice and happy and homey and stuff, but like doesn't end up together in the end.
Yeah, that's definitely a thought that I'm having as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Luke P, he comes in, he's constantly interrupting, trying to come back and talk.
Yeah.
And she says, I will come back and talk to you. I will get you and talk to you, okay? Just leave me alone for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I need to explain to you. And she's like, no, stop. I told you specifically what to do, and you're not doing it. Still not listening.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he tried to get in front of Peter before Peter went in to go talk to Hannah.
Yeah.
And Peter was like, dude, like, I thought we were cool. What's wrong? He's like, no, dude, yeah, we're cool. But, like, let me go first.
Yeah.
And then that's when Hannah was like, okay, knock it off. Seriously.
Yeah. And then cocktail party ends. Who gets a rose?
Peter. Yeah.
Right in front of Luke.
Yeah.
Hurts him even more.
Yep.
Stabs him through the heart again.
Uh-huh.
So, with that night over, the next kind of segment of the show comes up, and Chris Harrison reveals that there's no cocktail party before the rose ceremony.
Yeah.
So instead, it's more of a tailgate party, afternoon party.
Yeah.
That always seems to be the case with the show. Like, some days they'll just have a night party, and some days they'll just have a day party, like whatever. So, right after Chris Harrison breaks the news, our favorite...
our boy, Chicken Nugs.
Chicken Nugget. I'm a chicken nugget. Chris Harrison leaves. Cam, take it away.
Hey guys. I need to say something pretty serious. Obviously, I was expecting there to be a cocktail party tonight, and there's something very, very personal and very serious in my life that I need to discuss with Hannah that I haven't had an opportunity to. And this has been something that has been a downfall in my past 2 serious relationships. So right when it gets started, I need to just pull her aside for a second. And, you know, there's a strong likelihood that it may be too much for her to handle, and she sends me home even before the rose ceremony. I just want to say it's been an absolute privilege getting to know each and every one of you guys. You know, metaphorical cheers to, you know, living your truth. And that's really all I'll say.
BS. No. There's no rules of engagement.
Yo, what just happened? So
all
it doesn't
their
make
faces.
Oh, especially Mike. Nah. But see, honestly, I was actually trying to follow this again, just watching this, and in my head I couldn't comprehend anything he said.
No, okay. So here's what I think he was trying to say was, look guys, I think I'm going home tonight. But okay, wait.
See, it's really hard to follow his...
I think it's just he worded it wrong. What he was trying to say was, look guys, I'm gonna break something to Hannah. I need to talk to her real quick. It's ended my past 2 relationships, so there's a very high probability that I'm going home tonight. And I just want to let you know that. And since we're having a fun day today, let me go. Let me talk to her first, get her out of the way. And yeah, I think he was just saying, I'm going home tonight because I'm telling this story. Not I need to tell this story because I'm going home tonight.
Okay, see, so that's the huge issue, I think, and miscommunication on Cam's part on explaining his intention on what he was trying to do.
Because already everyone hates him, so they're automatically gonna assume.
So I think that the way, yeah, exactly. So nobody really likes him, and so him kind of doing this was his attempt to be like, hey, I'm gonna try not to interrupt anybody. Just let me go first, get it out of the way, and we'll be cool. Like, I know that nobody kind of likes me, kind of thing. Like, I know that I've been stepping on people's toes, so let me just say what I have to say. And try. He was trying to be the bigger person
and be like,
yeah, but it kind of just came all across the wrong way. So
super bad. It would have been fine had he not told anyone.
right.
But would he have? Never mind. Never mind. Just continue.
Anyways, what I wanted to do is just kind of showcase
What
the
he
story
talked
that he
about.
wants to talk to her about. So get that up here.
You know, in all of our previous conversations, I keep alluding to, you know, I'm an onion with a lot of layers. And considering how precious time is, and, you know, I wanted to get a chance to talk to you before tonight's rose ceremony. Just a little forewarning, like, this is not an easy conversation for me to have. But back in the year 2014, I was getting off work, and all of a sudden my right leg locked up on me. And all of a sudden I was running a fever, and they had to rush me to a hospital. Essentially, they told me that I needed to get an amputation. So life really tried to beat me down. I got a call from my dad that my grandma had passed away. The most recent surgery that I had in November of 2017 hit me the hardest because I actually had a 10-month-old puppy at the time that I was super close to that I had to rehome. I didn't want to go into tonight's rose ceremony without being fully transparent with you and giving you the full picture.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give us your thoughts on this conversation. I'm going to try to refocus the camera real quick.
Well, here's my take on it. Okay, first thing, sad, right? Second thing, sad. Sorry you had to go through all of that at the same time. Third thing, like, the puppy thing is also sad, but also, like, just the combination of it all together makes it sound like you are trying to wrap up a perfect little
Story.
story.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like they're all terrible things, and the main thing, the hardest part for me is the editing. Obviously, this clip is edited, but then, like, I mean, in the general episode, the editing, because, like, it doesn't shine enough context to why they're all related, if they are at all.
Yeah.
So, because if there is a huge correlation to all three, then I'd be like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but the way they edited it,
right, definitely makes him out to sound
so
crazy.
Cam seems like a normal dude. I think he just got a bad edit.
I hope so, but
or, like,
at the same time,
not a super normal dude, but like not as weird as they're trying to make him seem.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
Kind of the dangers of going on this show is you end up leaving
You're
a crazy person.
Exactly.
You start off normal and you end out crazy.
But people were saying, how does any of this have to do with your past two relationships? And he basically explained that, I wanted to tell Hannah because, you know, if we were to be married, and due to my condition, because he actually has a disease, he has to go through a lot of surgeries all the time, and it would be hard on her. And so in his past couple relationships, it was hard on his girlfriends to endure all of the surgeries and the, you know, PT and everything.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to note.
Yeah. But.
Tells his story.
Doesn't
come, like, doesn't really get, I think, the impact he wanted. I don't think it does have, because if you watch her again,
her face the whole time.
Her face is like, initially it's like, and then it goes into like, into just like dog, a puppy.
It's like, well, thank you for telling me this.
Right. What?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were. Sorry, no. You looked at me for some reason, and I was like, huh?
I was.
Okay. Anyways, afterwards, Mike pulls Hannah aside, kind of spills the beans on what
Big Mike?
Cam was allegedly scheming. Allegedly.
From Mike's point of view.
From Mike's point of view.
From what Mike was understanding, I don't think Mike intentionally was like, you know what? This thing that Cam's saying, I'm going to twist it so that he can leave.
Well, so here's where I have to kind of dock Mike's points a little bit.
Yeah.
Because for me, I definitely, for the past few episodes, have been definitely liking Mike and considering him a strong contender. I still don't think he will be, necessarily too far. Like, he won't make it too far.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that something's going to happen that's going to cause him to kind of blow up as well.
Yeah.
But here was kind of step one for me into Mike's downfall.
Implosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way, obviously, he's doing it in Hannah's best interest to let her know that Cam was mentioning all these things and saying that he was going to tell a sad story, blah, blah, blah. However, in Bachelor history, anytime you go against somebody and go behind someone's back, it's actually more of a knock towards your credibility and your points, essentially. Like, if you look at it from, like, pretend there's a point system,
it's just
right?
like real life, If you focus on other people and not on yourself, then you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to get where you need to be. Jed put it in a very, he said it in a nice constructed way. He said, I want to say last episode, during the whole walking in on Luke P situation, he said, being jealous and focusing on other people never got me to where I wanted to be in life.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think he's going to go far.
Yeah, I agree.
He gets the game.
Yeah, I think so. And so that, again, going back to Mike, for me, it's kind of just like, this is step one. This is one of those things that you just kind of don't do on Bachelor.
He'll have a slow implosion, I think.
Yeah.
Not as quickly as Cam and Luke.
Yeah. But the other thing, too, is, we watched it, and it was kind of pointed out that Mike was the first one to mention the phrase pity rose. And then it gets kind of twisted out of control and gets thrown around across all the other
and now everyone's saying pity rose.
And even Hannah. And so it kind of, it's kind of like unfortunate that it gets spread like that. It's kind of putting words in Cam's mouth
because Cam never said pity rose.
No, he didn't. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But I mean, again, I understand where Mike is coming from, but it really just, to me, is not one of those moves that you do on the show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways,
went to Hannah, basically said, look, Cam, not here for the right reasons. He told you a sad story to get the pity rose. And then she said, what? And then she said, okay, thanks, Mike. Thanks for telling me. And then he went over, said, Cam, let's go. Let's talk. And then he's like, oh, no. Is this a good talk? And then they sit down, and then Hannah calls him out, and doesn't look too good.
Nope, definitely not.
Because the thing is, Cam said he was writing letters.
That's weird.
It's weird, and
very
so,
weird.
but.
No,
but
there's what?
They were setting it up as if he was writing letters to the guys in the house, correct?
It is. That's what he was doing.
Afterwards, he said in an interview that he wasn't writing letters to the guys in the house. And the interviewer was like, who are you writing to, Hannah? And then he said, not to Hannah and not to the guys in the house. And then they were like, what? And he said, I can't tell you. And then they said, okay, so like the crew then? The crew of the Bachelorette? And he said, yeah, basically.
Something doesn't compute.
Exactly, something's not computing, because when Hannah's confronting him, she's like, okay, but if you didn't think you were going home tonight, why did you write letters? You wrote letters to the guys. And then he said no. And then, but then she said, but you wrote letters. And he said, yes, I wrote letters. And then that was enough for Hannah to be like, okay, I'm done with you, but I'll have to think about it, okay? I'll have to think whether or not we should keep you here.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more...
kind of like thank you cards, or like...
I'm very curious to see how...
I've written thank you cards before, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely curious to see how this plays, how not plays out, but I want to know more about that.
I was gonna say, like, Cam's whole story and situation was just, I don't know, it left us with a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Not a lot of closure. about who Cam Ayala is.
Anyways, so that happens. That kind of ends the tailgate to that segment, and they go into the rose ceremony.
Rose ceremony.
So, the main person that gets booted, obviously,
Is
Cam.
So
Cam's officially out the show, and it's kind of sad because he's very emotional. He's very sad. He's crying, and the thing that kind of sucked was nobody said bye to him
except for John Paul Jones.
Because I don't know. John Paul Jones is a mysterious character as well, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, as much as he kind of he messed up and all that, it kind of sucks to just be left alone. It's a really sad thing to see. Like, as much as I didn't necessarily like him at the end, obviously we liked him at the beginning, and then to see his downfall, and then to see him just like sent off with no friends, it actually made me a little sad.
I know.
I felt bad.
Yeah.
And then the other person that we had to say goodbye to this episode was Jonathan. Jonathan.
The man who came in and he kind of sacrificed himself for he took one for the team.
Yeah, basically the grenade that was thrown to the room, Jonathan dove on top and took one and sacrificed himself for the greater good for his brethren, and so to
avenge Mike.
Yeah, basically what I was saying, why we were going to mention Jonathan again, was just because, I mean, his interruption was so awkward and so forceful and that obviously it looked bad on him, but he was really just making a point.
Yeah, he was trying to make a point to Cam, and it was unattractive to Hannah.
Yeah, and I think at that point too, maybe he kind of knew that he wasn't getting as much time and not making as much progress as other people, so he probably thought, now's my chance to at least try to help the bros out.
Yep.
The bros here and the bros there.
Hey. Oh, he was the one who said,
hey. That's why I did that.
I see.
And so he helped his boys out, and unfortunately he was sent home. So yeah. I think the only thing left to do at this point, we are actually approaching the hour mark, so that's pretty good, is check out the trailer for
next week.
Well, I think it was a this season episode, like a seasonal, not a next week's episode.
Oh, okay.
This season on. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Let's take a listen.
Your like energy is so like contagious.
Newsflash, Peter's my boyfriend.
I want to be the guy at the end of the day on a knee with you.
I feel something growing inside me that I've never felt before, and I think it could turn into forever.
Oh my God, wait, he made it. I didn't even catch that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're violent, you're aggressive, you are a psychopath.
Why does every single guy here dislike you?
We all know that Luke P is an evil, pathological liar.
Let me just tell you, man, karma is a bitch, and you're gonna get yours.
Your story has changed. I feel like you think that I'm a threat to you because I am the biggest threat against you right now.
I'm not threatened by anybody, especially not you.
Somebody messing with my queen, I need to take that person out.
And later this season.
I don't care what you said to her. I've been nothing but truthful. And you are not gonna mess it up.
Stop with my mind.
I just don't fully understand how you can be as amazing as you are and even consider someone like him.
Where I'm from, we call that. There have been some people questioning Hannah.
I don't owe you anything at this point. Just stop. My husband would never say what you've said to me. You don't own me. You don't get to decide what I can and can't do because, first of all, you're not my husband. Even my husband, the person I'm going to be with, is going to allow me to be my own person. Get the away from me. I believe that sex was made for a man and a woman in marriage, but I'm having physical relationships. So, like, I have had sex. And honestly, Jesus still loves me.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Well, we're in for it.
Definitely a much more dramatic season than I had ever anticipated going into this one.
Lots of drama. Lots of man drama in between the men in the household.
Yeah.
Okay, so judging from that trailer,
what can you analyze from the trailer? Because it's always hard.
Yeah, because of the editing.
We
and
were
everything.
duped before with the Cam situation.
But he was talking about Cam.
Well, so I was wrong. I was correct in correcting what you thought the trailer said, but was wrong about what the output was going to be. So you were like, Cam is... You thought that they said Cam is a lie or something like that. But the trailer did not say that.
No. They said you can't reason with a sick mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you thought like it said that Cam has like a sick mind.
Cam has a sick mind.
And then I was like, no, that's not what they said. But it ends up kind of being
that
about
it
Cam
is about
anyways.
Cam. Yeah.
So
okay, yeah.
That's
Your
what,
analysis was correct. You know that it could not have been Cam. It wasn't a definite. Oh, they said Cam.
Right.
But it was about Cam.
But it was about Cam. So.
Dude in the paramedics in the
yeah, it's
ambulance. I forgot the word.
Tyler.
No.
Connor. It's Garrett. What? It totally looks like
it's Kevin.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Go back.
Take that person.
It's Kevin.
Oh my god.
It's Kevin.
Wait. Nah.
Yeah.
It's
That's the dude who threw the chicken nuggets at Cam.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely
Bet.
No.
Bet. Boba.
All right, let us know.
Shake on it. Shake on
okay,
it.
I'm gonna go.
Who do you think it is?
I know. Hold on. I'm gonna go. Wait, well, who is the guy with the chicken soup? This episode, Connor. Yeah.
You think that's Connor?
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
stick with it.
Okay. Let us know in the comments section who you guys
this
think
man
it
is.
is.
Kevin.
Connor.
Boba. Got it? One boba drink.
Is to fire and rice. Are present.
I'll add it to my tab of bets.
Okay. Anyways, so what else?
Oh,
what
and
other
then also,
analysis?
People were saying, okay, the one where Luke is yelling is a 3-on-1. Are there such things as 4-on-1s?
No. Yes.
There's only 2 roses on the table.
Oh, you saw that.
Yes. Where Luke is. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there's only 2 roses.
That looks like the one, maybe the 2.
Ooh, that's 2 roses.
So a 3-on-1?
A 3-on-1.
Interesting. So it's a switch up a little bit. Well, unorthodox.
But people were also saying, well, maybe this is just a bit on the date. Maybe they're supposed to be acting. And that's why Luke is so animated. But I don't think so.
So that's what I'm saying too. I don't think
this is
so,
legitimately
though.
him yelling.
He's actually angry.
That's Garrett.
And Garrett looks like he's just like, you're an idiot.
Like, yeah.
You're so dumb for yelling at me.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
Garrett's probably like, dude, do you not see the cameras?
Yeah,
Like-
you know they're gonna get you and edit you in a terrible way.
Ooh.
Anyways, okay, what else? What else do you have
and then-
to analyze?
The last part where she's like, stop. Who is she talking to? You know? And they keep cutting to Connor, to Tyler, to
Jed,
to
even.
Jed. No.
And then this guy, who's this guy? Mateo?
Is his name Mateo?
Is he the guy from San Diego? Is he still
No,
in the
that's-
show?
Is that Dylan? Who's Dylan?
Oh, Dylan.
Is it?
I think it's Dylan.
Might be Dylan.
Anyways, okay,
I don't know. I'm sorry, dude. Don't know who you are. But yeah, they keep cutting to them. But the whole season revolves really around Luke. And so why are they leading up to, and then they just stop cutting him in on this part?
Yeah, I agree. Like when she's getting angry, like how could you say that about me?
And
blah,
it's
blah,
about
blah,
someone who's
like,
persistent, who doesn't listen,
and is very
aggressive.
No. What's the word? Possessive.
Possessive.
Controlling of her.
Exactly.
Which is Luke.
It's about Luke.
I agree. Yeah, this whole thing about that whole segment. Yeah, but then they they're just like, dude, it's not gonna be him.
Connor in.
Unless
Connor
he goes
would
crazy.
Never. It's Pete the Pilot.
He goes from exactly.
Major twist.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
Well, we'll have to look back on this clip in the next couple of weeks and see if this is one of the moments of our show. Anyways, I think that's about it for the episode though.
Yep.
We'll have to see where things go from here. Definitely let us know in the comments who you guys think is gonna make it pretty far in the show.
Yes, we should go over who the top 3 is now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know many names.
Okay. I think Luke P is going to be in the top 3. I think solely just because, unless I take it back. How far do you think Luke is gonna make it? Really far.
I think he's
top 5.
I think he's before hometowns. He's not gonna get anywhere near that, which is top 4.
Top 4. Okay.
Top 5 is fantasies. So I
think, it is?
Yeah, I think he's top 8.
No, I think he makes it to fantasies.
Maybe.
I think he's top 5. And then I think Jed is going to make it to top 3.
Okay.
I think Peter the Pilot's going to make top 3.
So that you just said you're 3.
No, I take Luke back.
Oh.
And then I think it's either going to be Tyler C or Connor in top 3.
Okay. I'm going to go with Jed, Connor, and
Pete the Pilot.
Pete. Oh wait, let me rephrase. I want Pete top 3. I want Garrett top 3, and I'm going with Jed as well.
Oh, so you moved out Connor.
Yeah. I just think he's a little too awkward to be bold enough. He's like sweet, but he's not like
okay,
doesn't seem like they
wait.
mesh
So,
chemistry
so
wise.
So you think, well, who do you think's gonna win? You don't know? It's just your top 3?
I have no idea.
Okay. So
Show's
it's
too hard.
Garrett,
Show's way too hard.
Jed, and Pete the Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, let us know who you guys think is gonna make it far in the show, because right now I have zero idea.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for the American Idol listening session episode, as well as next week's Fire and Rice coverage of The Bachelorette, the most dramatic season yet. That being said, just want to thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next one. Deuces.